Hey guys, so today I have another Warframe video for you, and in this one I'm pretty much gonna be going over the trailer and what I see is likely coming up next for the Duviri Paradox. And I'm sure a bunch of us have we called that the Duviri Paradox was next, you know, just because there was hints everywhere. There was a lot of little hints all over the place if you knew where to look. So I'm gonna go over a few things that you might have passed over and you didn't really give it a second thought, but the indications that are there, I'm gonna point them out just in case you don't see them, and then therefore what does it mean for the future. So first I want to say this has been looming on us for a while now. There's been multiple things saying that this is gonna happen, not just that D put out a trailer for it in the past. It's just the fact that the man in the wall came out of the rift and was just in our face laughing about it. That's a big indicator that that was coming up next. But there's more little subtle things during the Ages of Zariman that you might have not paid attention to. For instance, your character's in-game romance, she says,
"Why does it feel like we're moving?"
And where could this ship possibly be moving to? Well, if you know Ages of Zariman, you know that it's actually plugging up a giant rift in the void. So if it's going to be sucked anywhere, it's probably going to be sucked back in there, right? But like I said in one of my previous videos, first I had to lure us onto the Zariman to then be sucked back in, because it's a trap. You can see the Duviri Paradox on the other side of that void. That's what's on the other side. And if you look at the trailer, and you look at the rift, what's on the other side of that rift? It's the space in the sky where we're currently sitting, looking at the Zariman in our set. Another hint that the Duviri Paradox was coming up next, and what actually may be the doorway to the Duviri Paradox world in the future, is that locked door, right? Where if you're your operator, nothing happens. If you're your warframe, nothing happens. But if you're the drifter, you see the void leaking in through there. So most of you probably already know this, so why am I even saying this? I'm saying this to explain to you that DE does drop Easter eggs to foretell what's coming next, kind of like little prophecies, right? So in the trailer itself, there are some tells. So what are some things that I may see and perhaps you overlooked? A big thing for me is the Lotus says something like, "What's done is done." You know, new choices, new enemies, blah blah blah, and I'm like, wait a second, what happened to eternalism? Eternalism says we're not in linear time, and if we're not in linear time, that means we can go back to the past and remake choices, right? Because that's eternalism. I got a lot of shit in my videos in the past for explaining why eternalism would be bad for Warframe, and now it looks like they're retracting this idea. So time isn't linear. That's what I was saying. It would kind of destroy the game. You should go watch those videos. I'm not gonna go over that again because it'll take up too much time. But basically, this is implying that from now on we're moving forward. What do you mean we're moving forward? What happened to eternalism? But my main point I was making in my first eternalism video was perhaps only in the void can you sometimes glimpse the past. Either echoes or ghosts, or perhaps even little doorways where you could manipulate a thing or two before that collapses, kind of thing. That would make it okay, but not make everything pointless, if you understand what I'm saying, if you've seen those other videos. But how she's saying this is kind of we're moving forward from here, don't worry about the past, and it's if eternalism is real, the past is just as important as the present and the future. So what do you mean? What's done is done. No, it's not. If eternalism is real, no, it's not. So it looks like they're dropping the whole time is not linear thing. And they are keeping time is linear thing, which they should, right? But let's move on from that point. Another thing I should note is there's 2 swords in the floor, which I'm sure all of you guys saw. Yes. But you're actually wrong, because there's not 2 swords in the floor. There's 1 sword stuck in the floor, but twice. 2 different alternative paths for that 1 sword. They just coincidentally both ended up in that same position. One is new and shiny, and one is old and withered. kind of like how the operator is young and, you know, full of life, and the drifter is kind of like worn, you know. The drifter's seen shit, they've been places. That's kind of like a metaphor for us, I guess, but it's also, that's one sword, just twice, if you know what I'm saying. So sure, maybe you could dual wield it, I guess, but that's not the point. The point is the metaphor behind it, that you know, sometimes there can be more than one of anything, which is, you know, what eternalism is about. But we shouldn't be more than one in one reality. So like I said in my eternalism video again in the past, was like, we shouldn't be able to pull things from other dimensions into our own without ours being popped out of it. For instance, where's the drifter when you're the operator? They're popped back to their own reality. So like I said in the past, in one of my older videos, I said that I think that the Duviri Paradox is gonna be tied to the drifter, like it's the drifter's quest or the drifter's problem, or you have to save the drifter or something, kind of thing. Or perhaps if you're playing as the drifter, the operator gets sucked into the Duviri Paradox for the first time, and then they have to figure out how to live there and how to do stuff, right? That's what I said. But now seeing the Angel's Desire Man, that only the drifter can see the swords by the door and can see the void leaking in, it looks more to me like this is going to be drifter exclusive. Like, this is the drifter's problem, or this is the drifter's mess, this is the drifter's quest that we have to, you know, go in there and solve. Well, I don't think we're going to go in there and solve it. I think we're going to get sucked in there, because the whole Zarman was a trap kind of thing to lure us in. Now they got us, then they pulled us in. But what I'm saying is, the drifter has unfinished business here. And yeah, we're gonna have to follow their lead kind of thing. That's what I'm thinking. Another thing is that person wearing the mask, the stranger mask. I have a lot of speculations. Which one is true? If any of them, I don't know, but I'm gonna give you them here. So a lot of people are probably gonna assume that's the man in the wall, and I'm gonna say instantly, no, that's not the man in the wall. Look at the mannerisms that person has. That is not man in the wallish. That person is, you know, has rage, has fury, like they were wronged, like they were betrayed, and they're, you know, seems like they had some kind of business with the drifter, and the drifter disappearing kind of like, you left me here, you fucking bastard kind of thing, and it pisses that person off kind of thing. When the man in the wall wouldn't care. Like, the man in the wall doesn't seem to be shaken by anything. He's just like always laughing, always mocking, and nothing phases them. They're like a jinn, like I said before. It's just untouchable. So who is this person possibly? Well, it could possibly be another us, like I implied in another video. It could be a third version of us. A bad one, I guess, right? But if you look at it, the mask that you could claim for watching the TennoCon is called the Stranger Mask, right? Which kind of sounds similar to like Operator, Drifter, Stranger, just another one of us. A quick title for another one of us. They're not named something, you know, grandiose, you know, like the, I don't know. But I think it might be another one of us, which would be a big problem, because we are a force to be reckoned with. So if we had to take on ourselves, or a bad version of us, or like I said in another video, they're the good version of us and you're actually the bad you, right? But anyway, another possibility that it could be is it could be your parents, possibly, right? Or it could be one of your parents, like, but from an alternate reality, because they seem a bit twisted and a bit aggravated at us, right? This is happening. The Tenzuro is getting sucked into the Duviri Paradox, likely as a result of this person doing something. Maybe, you know, getting the man in the wall to pull them in. I don't know, but I feel like they're responsible for it, or else they wouldn't be in the trailer. And yeah, so what's gonna happen? Is that like betrayed lover that the drifter left in the void? I don't know. I don't know, but there's a lot they can do here. It could also be a completely new character that we never even knew about. Or a thing they should actually do is like you know, possibly make it like your childhood best friend, but now they're corrupt because, you know, they've been in the void for so long in the Duviri Paradox by themselves, or I guess they were with the drifter, but then they grew to hate you, you know. You get stuck with somebody for so long you hate them. It could also possibly be Albert and Trotty, right? Like, it could be him. You may be thinking he's dead, but we were dead, right? 4 was dead. Lots of people that touch the void and die are not dead. So he could have been in the void the entire time in the Duviri Paradox, with the man in the wall driving him crazy, you know? Who knows what's been going on there. And then when I saw the Crescent Knight bundle, I thought that that feather was black, so I was like, oh, that's cool. That's like, you know, a dark angel, a demon. So that's a cool little touch, but it's actually red, so I was wrong. However, that in itself might be a clue, a little hint for things to come, because it's called Crescent Knight, right? It looks like it's implying the meter, our yin yang meter, you know, our light dark side detector by the choices we make. That's in the shape of you know, a moon, like mine here. So what is this saying? Like, only dark choices lie ahead? I don't know. It's just a speculation. This is just a speculation video out of the little drops of detail they give us. Stay tuned, guys, because any data that I get at all, I will always break it down and try to explain what is transpiring here, or what are real world, you know, parallels kind of situation. Yeah, so when TennoCon rolls around, I'm gonna probably have a lot more to say, so, you know, maybe subscribe, I don't know. I'm also very curious to find out if any of that prophecy from the man in the wall actually pans out to be true. That'd be really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Lastly, if you just want some of my random speculations of what's to come, I think there's gonna be armies of those Dax soldiers on horses, because that'll just be cool to see. And then you got that emperor type person sitting at the throne. I'm not sure who they're gonna be. I hope they're not the man in the wall. In fact, if we defeat the man in the wall in this patch, that would suck. Like, he seems to be such a big grandiose enemy that's like unbeatable, untouchable, that if we were to enter combat with him, it would decrease how we view him forevermore, and therefore perhaps we should never fight him. Or if we do, it's like when the game is shutting down, then that's our final boss. That's just my opinion, but what do you guys think? Anyway, that's all I got for now, guys, unless you want me to talk about like how if your worm prime consumes paradoxes, it might grow to the size of a dragon. I don't know. But besides that, that's all I got for now, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.